Welcome back to DXB today. Hope you're enjoying the episode thus far. Bit of an Eid special for us this evening as we focus on some of the main themes of a traditional Eid. Now, more so than F is for family. Our next guest has been in the family business for the last 26 years in various roles, and today he is the Chief Executive Officer at the Ajmal Group. Welcome, Abdulla Ajmal. Abdulla, great to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
No, great to have you here. Almost 3 decades worth experience within the family business, but this is a family business that dates back well over 70 years here in the region and further afield. So talk to me about your journey and that sort of responsibility for maintaining the traditions of the past, of past generations, into, of course, the modern era and the new the new eras that we're living in now.
Wow, I think you'll need like more than 24 hours to cover that. So yeah, we're 74 years old this year. My grandfather started the business. We're from India originally, from the northeast, and that's where the oud came from. And that's how he got into the business without having an idea. He was a farmer and got into the business without understanding what to do. And then somebody introduced him to this commodity, said oud. And then that's how it sort of, traded with people in Mumbai, at that time Bombay, still prefer it. And then there used to be Arabs, mostly from Kuwait and Saudi, who used to trade at that time. It wasn't so much Emirates, it was, it was 50s. So, and then he started coming to the region, dealing with a lot of the late sheikhs, the rulers, and he was very enamored by the vision that they had for UAE. So even though there was a lot of business with Saudi and Kuwait, he decided that, the first store in the region should be opened in Dubai. So my uncle was asked to, typically Asian families, you take the next generation, go ahead, do something else. They, unlike a lot of the other cultures where you can do your own thing, but we are brainwashed since childhood that this is exactly what you're going to do. So yeah, and that's how he ended up in Dubai in '76 when we opened our first store. And alhamdulillah, now we've got over 350 plus stores. We're available in 60 markets around the world.
But the values remain the same.
The values remain absolutely the same. It's all about quality. It's about innovation. So a lot of people think of us as a very traditional oud company. Well, we are the biggest when it comes to oud around the world, but that's not the only thing. That's how we started the commodity trading. But now we have plantations of it. We have companies doing raw materials, both for perfumery and for medicine, natural medicine. We have our retail, and we do the entire spectrum of perfumery. So you can go from very dark Arabic fragrances all the way to the most Occidental Western fragrances. We're available in many, many duty-frees around the world, airlines. So we're not a local industry anymore in some ways, but we're moving to the direction of, we are a niche international brand now.
Speaking of the dark Arab fragrances, it's a very big part of my culture as a Saudi woman, but it was one of the most eye-opening experiences when someone told me the process of this piece of oud coming to your hand. We just see it there, but it takes there's a big journey for the oud to come from where it is to where you are. Can you just explain how complicated that is and how special this oud is?
See, the technical side of it is actually quite lengthy. But if I could put an analogy to it, it'll make life a lot easier. So you've got, instead of a tree, you've got a mining, right? You get this rough diamond out of there, and that's that big piece of oud. Only a specialist understands what it can be, how many pieces, what kind of carats it could come out. And in our case, a specialist says, what kind of purity, what kind of grading it will have, etc.
People think it's just there, but there's a lot of details.
No, there's a lot of detailing. And in fact, we have a lot of videos out there where we take perfumers every year. I take about 10 to 12 perfumers. It's called the Oud Tour, the Ajmal Oud Tour. And yeah, well, please, anybody who wants to join, let us know. And we have workshops where we take how it is done. And then coming back to that, you cut the oud, you polish it, and it has to be done very artistically, and it takes a lot of experience. Incredible. Because every little bit you lose, you're losing literally could be thousands of dirhams.
Amazing.
I didn't know that oud came from India, honestly. This is news to me because you always, almost always associated with the Middle East. I want to ask you a little bit more about like some practical tips, because when it comes to applying perfume, what would you say is the right way, and which are the right pulse points where we need to apply it so that it has longevity?
Honestly, there is no rule. Okay, in my opinion, there is no rule. There are people who will spray in the air and just walk through it. There are people, well, there you go. There are people, and marketeers over the years have always talked about pulse points, not necessarily. I mean, if you're in the GCC and if you don't bathe in perfume, I call it the M formation. Start this way, this way, this way. Being a Saudi, you would know that,
We do something different. We actually run it through our hair.
That is
we take a little stick and we run it through your scalp.
Yeah.
That is so clever.
Yeah, so when you get hot, it comes up again. Yeah.
So nowadays you've got a lot of the hair mists and everything. But honestly, there are no rules. You just need to, whenever you feel the need to freshen up. So let's say in the West, they would use a fragrance in the day, and maybe if they're going out, maybe in the evening. But when you look at the GCC, it's at least 5 times a day.
There's in the car, in the bag.
Exactly. So typically our customers, a loyal customer of let's say a brand, would buy 3 bottles. 1 at home, 1 in the car, 1 in the office. So the culture of fragrancing in this part of the world is very, very different.
I saw a TikTok trend the other day where someone said that if you apply Vaseline on your skin and spray perfume on it, it's meant to last longer. And it actually does work.
Well, it's actually, the concept is just having your skin moisturized. Okay. So when typically in a ritual, you would have a shower, you would put, let's say, moisturizer all over your body. That should do the trick. But people need to come up with new ideas to talk about, right?
Or old ones. So in my family, if we have Eid or if we have something, speaking of Eid, after we take a shower, after the, we would be in the pool or whatever, we take a shower, the bakhur needs to be running the whole day. So when your hair is wet, you stand near the bakhur, it will absorb it. It will absorb the clothes. So you put on the bakhur and it just stays and it comes in, it goes into your clothes. So when you walk, that's why you get this beautiful walking and then the bakhur comes out of it.
The Arabs have the most ritualistic process of wearing fragrances. So it's after the shower, then there is the dukhun in the clothes, and then the perfuming of the skin.
Because it stays in the clothes more than the skin.
It's a process, and that's why it is us who are responsible for leaving the trail, the sillage behind. You know, when people walks out of an elevator and you go, oh wow, okay.
Yes.
It must have been beautiful.
Tom, what's your relationship with bakhur?
Oh, yes.
What's your relationship with bakhur?
25 years relationship. Unfortunately, out of time on this occasion, but really appreciate it.
Thank you so very much. Now,